Hey guys, it's Beth, and today I'm going to show you how to make two really easy bows. The first one is a more traditional bow, and I'll be using these 3 ribbons. Next is a messy bow with those strips of ribbon. I take my first ribbon, measure it out 8 inches, and then fold it over. And then I take that piece that's folded over, and I just wrap it over onto itself 5 times. And then I just cut off the excess and set that aside, and I'll do that 2 more times. So I'll make 3 sets of these, measuring 8 inches, fold it, and then take that whole piece, and again, just wrapping it around itself. So after I have all 3 sets made, on the center of each of them, I'm going to cut out a little triangle, just a little notch right in the center of each of these. Now, I prefer using wired ribbon for these bows. They fold up and you can maneuver them a lot easier and they stay in shape, but you can definitely use unwired ribbon. Once you have the notches taken out, you just put a piece of a pipe cleaner over the top, fold it over, twist the pipe cleaner super tight. And I left the pipe cleaners long on the back. I did not trim them up yet. And then after you have all 3 of them made, you just take apart the different loops. So you folded it over 5 times, you're going to have 3 loops. Just cut off that excess ribbon from when we started. So you'll have 3 loops on each side. Now this one isn't a wired ribbon, so it doesn't keep its shape as well as the others. So this one is going to go on top. And I'll just stack them on top of each other. Just decide how you want it. And then I take my middle one, open up the pipe cleaner, and wrap it around the bottom one, tightening those pipe cleaners nice and tight. And then I do the same thing with the next one. Now you can do this with just 2 sets. I do 2 sets all the time and they look really good, and you can make the loops bigger or smaller. So I trimmed up 2 of the sets of pipe cleaners on the back, left 1 long if you want a tail. You can leave the bow just like this, or you can add a tail. So once I had them all together, I just reopened up the loops, and cutting the notches in them makes it so they can be maneuvered a lot easier. And for the tail, I just take one of the styles of ribbons. You can do all 3 of them if you want. I'm just doing the one. And I cut a big long strip. And then I fishtail the end. And then I take it right in the center and I pinch it and twist it until both of the patterns are showing in the front. And then I flip it over upside down on the back of the bow and twist it inside the pipe cleaner. And that is it for that one. Just refluff out the ribbons. Make sure the loops are nice and full. Next is a messy bow that I make all the time. And I'm taking the bigger ones, the 2.5 inch pieces of ribbon and little mesh, and cutting them in half so they are smaller. And I'm taking some raffia as well. I always try to get at least 5 different styles of ribbon or fabric, and I use 4 of each kind. It just makes the bow really full. And then I start with one piece. I pinch it in the center, and I'm going to hold it between my thumb and index finger and keep it pinched like that the whole time. Take my next piece, do the same, and put it in my hand in a crisscross fashion. So you're just making like an X in between your fingers. And just keep alternating. So I do 2 of one pattern and then 2 of another, so on and so forth until I have it completely full. Then I also like to add in some raffia, it just gives it a really neat look. So I just bunched up a bunch of raffia, put it in between some of the ribbons, and then just continue on with my ribbons until I get to the end where I add a little bit more raffia. And then once I have it all filled in, I take a pipe cleaner, or you could use twine. Take the pipe cleaner, wrap it around where my hand was holding all the ribbon together. And in the back, I pull the pipe cleaner nice and tight and twist it a few times, and then cut off the excess pipe cleaner. And then to make these really nice and fluffy, I spread all of the different ribbons and stuff out and kind of pull them up towards the center. So I'm just separating them, moving them all around, kind of pushing them towards the front. And then I trim up some of the pieces that are a little bit long. And those are my 2 favorite bows to make. Thank you guys so much for watching.